Today's episode of BW Radio is brought to you guys by our friends at Itasha Coffee Company. Folks, make sure you check out itashacoffee.com. Find out how you guys can sign up for the exclusive Itasha Coffee Club, where you guys can get awesome flavors, including the new flavor Holy Sheep Chat, which of course is a collab flavor. You guys can check that out at itashacoffee.com. Use code the BW Radio Network. That's the BW Radio Network at checkout for 5% off your order today. Good morning, mad lads. How's everyone doing today? Is everyone excited for today's show? Come on, I need excitement. And instead we get hit with the fucking screaming go. Alright, yep, this show is going to be off to a flying start today. We have so much to talk about in the world of sports. We have the NFL draft this week. We got our last mock draft, and of course, the expert picks as to who's going where, including from Jordan Reed from ESPN, who predicts all 257 picks, which he's nuts for doing that. I'd rather just do the first round, but he wants to do all the picks. What a weird guy. I don't know why he would do that. Anyone else knows why he wants to do that? Anyone? Do you guys think that that's a good idea? All right, thank you so much. All right. So, we have that to talk about. We have NBA playoffs and NHL playoffs to talk about. We also have just so much stuff that we need to get to, so much stuff that we need to talk about. Normally, we start with Syracuse sports. However, there's not really a ton of news coming out of the Syracuse sports realm other than the fact that Donnie Freeman is heading to St. John's, which, in my opinion, is a middle finger to the program. But hey, good luck to you, Freeman. You know, hopefully the injury bug doesn't plague you again like it did in Syracuse. But anyway, let's start with the draft. The 2026 NFL draft is Thursday, which is tomorrow. Big draft day, big names on the board. Fernando Mendoza, of course, out of Indiana, is the projected number 1 overall pick to head to the Las Vegas Raiders. Of course, we're going to be giving the picks that we have, of course, for the New York Giants, the New York Jets, and of course the Buffalo Bills. And I want to start with the New York Giants because a lot has happened with them over this past week, other than news that Odell Beckham apparently has returned to the Giants facilities for a tryout, and of course to test his medical stuff to see if he could return to the team, which is a big help there. But Dexter Lawrence is no longer with the team. He got traded to the Bengals. The Bengals gave up their number 10 pick in this year's draft, which I am questioning why. Like even I don't understand it, and usually I'm a guy that tries to understand everything when it comes to the world of sports, and I'm trying to still understand why did the Bengals trade the number 10 overall pick for Dexter Lawrence. Now look, I'm not going to say Dexter Lawrence isn't worth, some picks here, but the number 10 overall pick? I mean, the Bengals are really that desperate? I mean, I'm still trying to piece this all together. So, the Cincinnati Bengals looked at Dexter Lawrence and said, "Hey, Giants, we got the sweetest deal for you. We'll give you the number 10 overall pick for Dexter Lawrence." I bet you the Giants were just like, "Done. No more negotiating. Give us the pick." I mean, look, I love Dexter. I wish Dexter would have stayed with the team. I saw what the Bengals offered him, which, in my opinion, infuriates me because I'm like, why couldn't the Giants offer him that kind of contract? Because I'm still questioning why the hell they didn't offer that kind of contract, because that's exactly what Dexter was wanting. At least you could have given him one more year for that kind of money. But at the same time, I'm still questioning why they thought that that was the best idea to just say, "Hey, we're getting rid of Dexter." I mean, look, I saw what the Bengals offered him, right? I did. I saw what Dexter Lawrence is getting paid. Not gonna lie, I'm a little bit irritated because the Giants couldn't have offered him a 1 year, $28 million contract. They said no. Let's let the best defensive lineman we've had and a franchise player go again. See, the Giants have this formula, you see, where wherever we have a franchise player, we need to trade him immediately. We did it with Odell, we did it with Saquon, and now we're doing it with Dexter Lawrence. Kind of getting annoyed with these freaking Giants. But getting back to them, uh, the Giants I have picking two guys out of Ohio State. Number one, I think they need to improve. Uh, I need to improve on the linebacker position, so I got them picking Reese out of Ohio State. I think that's the smart pick right there for the Giants at number 5. I did have Sony Styles, but I also feel like the Cardinals are going to get him at number 3. I feel like the Cardinals are in the same position as the Giants when it comes to that defense, so it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if they were to pick up Styles before the Giants can get their hands on him. So I have Reese as the next best option. I mean, it's another Ohio State guy. Um, but I mean, overall, I feel like that's the next smart choice for the Giants to improve in that position. And then, of course, I have them improving their offense a little bit. I got them picking up Cardinal Tate, who is out of Ohio State at wide receiver. I feel like the Giants could use another weapon to give Jackson Dart and, of course, to help Malik Neighbors. If they were to pick up Odell Beckham Jr., I feel like that would be a great 3 men right there. Is Neighbors, Tate, and Odell. I feel like that offense would be scoring some high numbers, even though people are saying, "Oh, well, Odell Beckham's old. He's not playing to his old form." Yeah, that's my opinion. Uh, I mean, to me, it just makes more sense. I mean, the Giants need to improve on both sides of the ball. You get a guy who can improve the offense along with Neighbors. If Neighbors goes down again, you at least have another option in Tate. Um, if not that, I did have the Giants also trying to go for USC's Lemon, but I have him going next in the next pick to the Dolphins after that. So, but anyway, getting to the other New York teams at number 2, I have Bain Jr. going to the Jets. He's an edge rusher out of Miami, and I have a feeling that the Jets really need to improve the defensive side of the ball and also the offensive side, which is I was kind of going back and forth when it came to the Jets because I didn't know. I guess I didn't know exactly what the plans are with the New York Jets because they also have 2 picks in the first round as well. I thought that Bain Jr. made the most sense considering the fact that they're trying to improve that side of the ball. Um, I know that a lot of people think that the Jets should go quarterback or they should go some kind of offensive weapon with the second pick, but I feel like going with improving the defense on the defensive side of the ball is a little bit better. I feel like Bain Jr. makes the most sense because I'm not gonna lie, he was a beast for Miami last year. I feel like it just makes more common sense to have him get drafted at number 2. A lot of people said that maybe the Jets should go with Sony Styles, and I was like, no, 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 no. They're gonna avoid Styles. They're gonna go. They're gonna go Bain Jr. In my opinion, with the second pick. A lot of people ask me where did I have Jeremiah Love going. I have him going to Tennessee at number 4. I feel like the Titans need a decent running back, and I feel like Love would do that. He's a very talented guy. He has great technique, great rushing. I feel like Tennessee would really benefit with him in the backfield. So I definitely think that Jeremiah Love going to Tennessee makes the most sense. Um, I mean, realistically, Sony Styles here, he could go to anyone from 2 to 5. Um, but to me, it just makes more sense that Jeremiah Love goes to Tennessee. in that respect. So the Jets do have another pick, which is number 16. I have them picking a tight end out of Oregon, Kenyon. I have a feeling that he makes the most sense. Um, like I said, the Jets are going to try and improve on both sides of the ball, whether it's defense and offense at the same time. Because let's face it, the Jets last season, both sides of the ball were just absolute meh. And I feel like, I mean, no offense, this was pretty much the sound that we were playing before the Jets even had a chance to touch the field last year. I mean, it was pretty much game over for them when they were having quarterback troubles and trying to figure out all this stuff. So it really didn't shock me with the fact that I think that the Jets need to improve on both sides of the ball. I feel like the Jets need to realistically take a look at all their options because the Jets are trying to get out of this lump of being the worst franchise, in which they are. The Jets are the worst franchise in the NFL, right? Like, I mean, we can look at all the teams and we can sit here and we can make jokes. And I know that if we had Noble on this show, Noble would be like, yes, of course. Jets are the absolute worst. But no, I'm actually trying to be serious here for a minute. The Jets, in my opinion, don't have that competitive fight that we normally see out of other NFL teams, which is shocking because that's exactly what you want. Is you want, something here. But it just seems like every bleeping time they think that they get something going, it just goes the other way, and the Jets can never really bounce back. Um, Surprisingly enough, there's a lot of Ohio State guys I got going out of the first round. For number 26 for the Buffalo Bills, I have McDonald, uh, defensive line out of Ohio State. I think Buffalo needs to work on their defense. I don't think their offense is really the problem. I think they have some components that they need to put together for next season. Definitely need to focus on getting Josh Allen some weapons during free agency. Try and get him some guys. But I think that getting the defense on the Buffalo Bills side, especially with a new head coach at the helm, would make the most sense. I just for me it makes the most sense that all the New York teams are going to improve on both sides of the ball, but they need to improve the defensive side a little bit more because let's face it, last year these teams were kind of known for giving up big plays and of course allowing opponents to fight back. And to me at least, it would make the most sense for Buffalo to do something smart here. I think that Buffalo needs to be smart with their draft pick because realistically, that defense has suffered enough. I think that Buffalo has allowed so many bad plays to happen that they just continuously shoot themselves in the foot. I mean, look, we can sit here and we can blame Buffalo's offense all we want, but realistically, the defensive side of the ball doesn't help either when it comes to playoff time. I mean, we could sit here and put all the blame on Josh Allen, and Josh Allen will say, "Yeah, I'm going to put all the blame on myself too." But it's not really on Josh Allen's fault when, no offense, the referees make a bad call, number one. But number two, the defense doesn't exactly help the Buffalo either. Because it just seems like Buffalo allows big plays to happen and of course allows cheap penalties to happen and of course they just don't come back. But yeah, everyone's trying to tell me, oh, well Buffalo will be fine if they do this. Yeah, sure they will. Okay. I believe you. Not really. Um I mean, to me, it makes the most sense. If you're Buffalo, you want to go defense here, so that way you can improve there, and then in free agency you pick up some guys. I know that realistically, these New York teams they need to focus on their rebuilds, especially with new head coaches at the helm. I know that realistically, we could sit here and talk all day about who the Giants and who everyone should pick and this and that and et cetera and whatever. But realistically, it would make the most sense for New York teams to focus on both the defense and the offensive side of the ball in the first round because you're getting some good weapons this year. I know that this isn't the most stacked draft class, but I mean, overall, I mean, you do have some defensive powerhouses here that you could grab some great weapons to rebuild your defense and kind of help lift your team up, and especially with the Giants, especially with Harbaugh, he wants to build fantastic defenses all the time. So I'm just curious as to what the Jets are going to do because you can never put a finger on what the hell the Jets are going to do. We could sit here and take a guess like every 10 seconds. Oh, yeah, the Jets are going to do this, the Jets are going to do that. But yet somehow they always fumble it. They always do. Like, we could sit here and take a guess all day as to what the Jets are going to do. And yeah, I still have zero fucking clue. I mean, I'm being honest here. I'm not trying to make fun of the Jets because, like I said, we try to represent all the New York teams as well as we can. But I mean, Jesus Christ, when you got when you got these teams that just make absolute no sense, and like you just sit there and you question the Jets every fucking season. It's like how many times can we sit here and say, look, Jets, you ain't doing shit. You gotta improve, man. Jets fans are getting annoyed. New York fans are getting annoyed. They want wins. They want big outcomes, you know what I mean? So to me, it makes no sense how the Jets fumble every single year when yet they keep getting younger talent that is supposed to be really good and help rebuild their team, but yet they can't get over that hump. I'm telling you, the fucking curse is real. They're cursed, I'm telling you. Telling you, I'm telling you, if I watch a Jet game and I see that the first game of the season is a flop, this is the noise I'm gonna play right here. That's gonna be the Jets. That's gonna be the Jet sound. Oh yeah, I'm gonna rename the sound effect the Jet sound because I'm telling you, every time I read off if the Jets lose, this is the sound you're going to hear. They get the loser game show sound. But it's true though. I mean, come on. Like, how is it that they can't get shit together? It's like every single year we sit here and we say the Jets can improve, but yet they never do. It's like they don't, and like people want to blame the quarterback situation, and it's not the fucking quarterback situation. We could sit here and say it's the quarterbacks all day, but realistically, that whole team has a problem. Right? We could sit here and say this all day that the whole Jets team has a problem. You can sit there and blame Justin Fields all you want, but realistically, ownership has no idea what they're doing in trying to help get Justin some weapons and of course trying to help rebuild him. And it just seems like the Jets are just finding every fucking way to just tank, and it's like you can't watch it. It's unbearable. And like I don't understand how people can cheer for the New York Jets. I really don't. Like I still see Jet fans all over the place. But it makes no sense. Because it's like every year they finish dead last in the AFC East. And it's like, I don't understand. Like they went 3-14 this year. The year prior, they went 5-12. So they downgraded. Then they went 7-10. So they went downhill. Because they were 7-10 back in 2023. 2022, they were 7-10. 2021, they were 4-13. Then they were 2-14 back in 2020. So it's like they can't get over the hump. I don't understand it. And yes, we could sit here and say, "Oh, we're gonna blame. We're gonna blame. We're gonna blame the guy throwing the ball. Really? You're gonna blame Justin Fields? Well, now they got Geno. I would love to see Geno Smith try and turn that fucking team around. That'd be great. Geno gets his redemption tour in New York. Helps them fight back in the AFC East. That would be the biggest story of all time, would it not? Okay. Gee, what a fucking happy guy you are today, aren't you, sound effect guy? I'm surprised I haven't fired the sound effects guy yet. Yeah! Fire! Alright, shut up. Annoying prick. He is. He's an annoying prick, and he knows it. Keeps threatening to sue me. Alright. Anyway, the point I'm trying to get at, right, is where did Justin go? Justin went to an insane team, right? Where the hell did he go? Yeah, he went to Kansas City. He got the hell out of there. He was smart. But no, like to me, it makes no sense because it's just like the Jets is that one franchise that you just want to pick on every single fucking year, and yet somehow fans defend them, and it's like you need to get rid of your owner, like honestly. Want to bet? I know I can fire myself. I can end stream right now. But no, it's like I don't understand how you can cheer for a team that just constantly loses. And I used to say this every single year. Like I don't understand it because there are certain teams that lose every fucking year, but yet somehow they have a great turnaround one season later. Like look at Carolina. Like I'm not even trying to joke around. Carolina, they finished atop in the NFC South, right? But they were the laughing stock of the NFL for a while because they weren't winning games either. They were in the same situation as the Jets. Like they could have a big turnaround, but like the Jets can. It makes no sense. Buffalo, I don't know what the hell Buffalo is. Buffalo is just cursed. Buffalo is just cursed because every time they freaking get far in the playoffs or whether they have a spectacular playoff run in them, they choke it, and I don't understand. It doesn't matter what star power they have, whether it's minimal or a lot, they fucking choke it, and I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, they crash and burn more than anyone. But yeah, everyone wants to talk crap about my team, the Giants, and say, "Oh, well, the Giants are trash." Yeah, we got 4 trophies. That's say different. Oh, but those are in the past. Okay, so Tom Brady's trophies don't matter. All the Cowboys trophies back in the day don't matter. All the Steelers trophies don't matter because that's all in the past. Need I go on? I love it when people try and use that argument with me. Oh, it was in the past. Okay, so then the Patriots one doesn't matter. All the Patriots ones don't matter. All the Steelers ones don't matter. It's like, give me a break. Oh, the past is the past. Yeah. Okay, so what? Last time I checked, it's all about the trophy in the end. Like, give me a break. Anyway, moving on. Um, so of course Jordan Reed, who works at ESPN as a writer, he of course gave his mock draft of each 7 rounds. He went 7 rounds with this shit. And I gotta ask, what the fuck is wrong with him? He did all 7 rounds of the draft. And of course, his is kind of all over the place with mine. I just closed mine, so I don't remember what mine was. But like, this, I don't understand because his is a lot different. He has the Jets picking up Reese out of Ohio State, right? He then has the Giants getting Sony Styles, which that'd be great if he fell to us. But then he has Tate going to the Browns. He has Jeremiah Love going to the Commanders. He then has us picking up Caleb Downs out of Ohio State, which that would be a great pickup too. I think picking up 2 defensive guys to help rebuild that defense is great. But again, I'm sitting here reading his stuff and I'm like, eh. But yeah, he has McDonald going to Buffalo like I did. So we agree there. I like the draft is so unpredictable because like these teams, they'll trade up, they'll make trades that make no sense, and yet at the end of the day, it really won't matter because these draft picks, they either gotta live up to the hype or they choke. And based on what we seen last year, right? I want to talk about last year's draft for a minute. Last year's draft, we saw a lot of big talent coming out of last year's draft. And everyone says, "Radio, you're nuts." Right? Like, "Radio, you're insane. What big talent came out of last year's draft?" And it's like, well, from what I've seen a lot of things come out of last year's draft. Okay, like what? I'm like, really? I love it when people question me about the fucking draft. It's like, why can't you just be happy with everything that's come out of the draft? You bastards. Like, like for me, I was happy with what came out of last year's draft because that's when we got, of course, our quarterback. We got our big edge rusher out of Abdul Carter. We got our quarterback. We got our big time quarterback. Right? That was 2025, right? Is when we got Dart. 2025 NFL draft. Yeah, because I remember we got Dart and we got Carter out of it. And I was like, oh, shit, okay. Well, there's our quarterback of the future. At least that's how I remember it. Yeah, so we got Abdul Carter and then we traded up and we got Jackson Dart. Who the hell did Jets pick? Some offensive tackle out of Missouri. Let's see here. I'm trying to remember that entire draft. Maxwell Harrington went to the Bills. All right, why are we talking about last year? Like, I want to talk about this year's draft. Okay. So look, to put a cap on this, if you will, we all know who Mr. Number One is going to be, right? We all know it's Fernando Mendoza. Okay, we all know the Raiders are going to go with Mendoza. The Jets, the Giants, and the Bills are going to go defense this whole draft. They need to rebuild their teams completely. New head coach is at the helm. They need to rebuild. I'm just curious to see how the rest of the NFL is going to go, particularly how the 2 teams that played in the Super Bowl are going to pick because I'm curious to see how the Patriots are going to rebuild there. And not only that, I'm also curious to see how the Seahawks answer with their team pretty much getting picked apart the whole friggin' offseason. I mean, guys were going all over the place. Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? Know what I mean, chat? I mean, look, the draft is always fun, right? it's always a fun time because we're curious to see who the hell we're gonna get. But you already know some shocking picks are gonna happen every single year. There's always one. But all right, enough of the draft. We are going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we got the NBA playoffs, including one scary moment for the San Antonio Spurs and how their star player Wembanyama could be out in the next game against the Portland Trailblazers after falling in last night's game. Not only that, but we'll also take a look at some of the other playoff games, including a shocking upset in Boston with the Philadelphia 76ers. Not only that, but we're going to talk about how the Lakers are dominating the Rockets right now in the rivalry of LeBron and Kevin Durant. And then, of course, folks, we're going to take to the ice. We're going to take a look at the NHL playoff picture over there, see how the Bruins are doing, especially when they tied the series up last night. We'll talk about a thriller in Tampa Bay. And then, of course, how the newest NHL team, the Utah Mammoths, how they are rolling over the Vegas Knights. Not only that, folks, but we're going to talk about WrestleMania. That happened this past weekend. And, of course, we got your Around the Diamond and how we're going to talk about how the Mets are on the biggest downslide of all time. But we'll talk about all that and more coming up right here on BW Radio, the number one Syracuse Sports Radio, right here on YouTube.
Sports fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love, unique one-of-a-kind designs exclusively by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars shipped directly to your home. Join Fanatics Rewards for free to earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and for a limited time, get 20% off all orders. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next segment of BW Radio is brought to you guys by our friends at Fanatics.com. Folks, whether you are a fan of the NFL, MLB, NCAA, MLS, WWE, and so much more, check out Fanatics.com today by downloading the new Fanatics app on the App Store or Google Play today and start earning fan cash that you folks can use towards future purchases on all your favorite items, whether you guys are looking for decked out gear to get ready for the NFL draft, whether you folks are cheering on your favorite MLB teams this season or getting ready for the upcoming WNBA season. Make sure you folks check it out at Fanatics.com. And make sure you folks are also checking out gear, getting ready for the upcoming World Cup coming to the U.S. here soon. You guys can get all of that gear at Fanatics.com. Fanatics.com, officially licensed to everything. All right, so welcome back to BW Radio this morning, everybody. Hopefully you folks are having a great day and a great start to your day. Hopefully you guys are having some fun with us this morning. I gotta tell you, I am extremely exhausted. But yeah, we're gonna keep the show going. It's time for the Fanatics.com breakdown, folks. And of course, we're going to talk about both the NBA and NHL playoff picture. And we're going to start with last night's matchup between the Portland Trailblazers taking on the San Antonio Spurs in a matchup there. Trailblazers were able to rally past the Spurs. 106-103 was the final in that one to even the series after Wembanyama exits with a concussion. It says here that in the second quarter, Wembanyama was actually driving to the basket after getting past the ball at the top of the key. Wembanyama would then drive to the basket. However, he got fouled hard here. Well, he ended up tripping on himself and ended up smacking his head against the hardwood floor. Wembanyama would exit the game and he would go into concussion protocol after the fall. Again, he only played just 12 minutes before being placed in concussion protocol and being ruled out of the game. It says here that Mitch Johnson says, I just know that he has a concussion and he's in protocol. We'll obviously take the proper and appropriate steps. Asked if Wembanyama was being evaluated for anything beyond the concussion, Johnson said no. So, under the league concussion protocol guidelines, a player cannot return to full participation for 48 hours after the time of the injury, but can resume gradually activity after 24 hours as long as symptoms don't worsen. Then the player must hit several benchmarks while being symptom free before he is cleared to play. He'll then require clearance from the team doctor with who will be working with the league protocol director. Game 3 is Friday in Portland. So, chances are if Wembanyama does get cleared, he will end up missing Friday's game. But again, it could be a game time decision. We don't know. But I want to talk about the Trailblazers last night. Scoot Henderson, 31 points. This Trailblazer team, man, they just find a way to battle back. Now, granted, you got to give credit to Castle, who tried to keep the Spurs alive in this one. Castle, of course, who put up 18 points last night, had 5 assists. I think that the Trailblazers were just too much, especially when the Spurs lose their big defensive guy, lose their all-star, a guy who is in the running for MVP this season. I think that the Portland Trailblazers are going to turn this series into a very interesting one because chances are we could see an exit of the San Antonio Spurs, but highly doubtful. I think that after Wembanyama gets cleared, I just think that they're going to. I think the Spurs are still going to win this series. As much as I hate saying it. I as much as I want to say Portland is going to win because we did cheer Portland for a small period of time growing up. When they had Damian Lillard and that team was perfect overall. But I mean, realistically, right? When you lose an all-star, the series becomes wide open, right? Like now it's become unpredictable. But when you lose a guy who was the unanimous winner of the Defensive Player of the Year award, when you lose a guy like that, you kind of lose a little bit of hope if you're San Antonio. Because now you just watched your guy go down. Now, granted, this is just a concussion. He could be cleared for Friday's game. He could be back. We don't know. We don't want to rule it out. But I think that the NBA is going to take everything a little bit more seriously, considering some penalties and fines that happened this past season. So I feel like they're going to be watching the Spurs a little bit closer than anything. Granted, we don't want Wembanyama back out there if he's, not 100%. But I do think that this is becoming one of the most interesting series to watch in the West because if the Portland Trailblazers, coming from the play-in, were able to get rid of the San Antonio Spurs, you would have to think that that opens up the case wide open in the West. In my opinion, I think that opens up the playoff picture very widely in the West, considering the fact that you have the Thunder, who are currently up 1-0 in their series. But yet that opens up the doors for a great battle that we have going on between the number 3 seed Nuggets and the number 6 seed Timberwolves, and then the Lakers and the Rockets, whatever is going to be the outcome there. In my opinion, I think that this is going to open up the series wide open for a bunch of teams. I'm just curious to see which way that they're going to go with it, depending on who's going to come out with the victory in the end. Because I mean, you get rid of the Spurs, you have a wide open playoff picture, wide open. Now, granted, I don't think Wembanyama is only gonna. I think Wembanyama is only gonna be out for one game, so I feel like the Spurs will be fine. But you never know, man. The NBA playoffs, it's unpredictable. And continuing with the NBA playoffs, speaking of unpredictable, I want to talk about what happened last night in Boston. The Boston Celtics at home taking on the 76ers. They had a one game series lead, right? Philadelphia said, fuck that. Edgecombe drops 30 points, 10 rebounds, while playing through the pain after taking a hard fall on his back early in the game. Tyrese Maxey, 29 points. Lift the 76ers to a 111-97 victory over the Celtics. And we have a tied series there in the East. Edgecombe and Maxey were able to take down a Boston team that a lot of people have so much faith in that they were going to sweep the 76ers. The 76ers says, no, we're going to go to Boston and we're going to take the fight right to Jaylen Brown, who ended up putting up 36 points, and Tatum, who ended up finishing with 14 rebounds and 9 assists. They're going to take the fight right to Boston because now they got to go back to Philadelphia. So Philadelphia is now riding some momentum from this win in Boston. And just like that, we have a very interesting playoff picture in the East when it comes to the Boston Celtics, who are the number 2 seed. And in my opinion, if this series goes the way that I think it's going to go, and knowing freaking how the NBA is going to probably play this out, somehow Boston will still survive this series. But I would love it if the 76ers got rid of Boston, because then that'd be the biggest what the fuck just happened. What the fuck just happened? I mean, they took a hard loss last night. They took a hard loss. Like, Boston was leading Boston was the favorite in this game. Philadelphia took over and said, not so fast, my friends. We don't care where we are. We're taking over this game, whether Boston likes it or not. Like, it was a fight after fight after fight in the East. And all I gotta say is this. I mean, look, am I happy to see the downfall of Boston, especially with what happened last night? Yes, I'll be happy the minute Boston gets eliminated from this playoff picture, because then at least it'd be very interesting to see what team gets rid of them. Hopefully, I'm praying it's the 76ers. But, I mean, that loss last night was so unexpected. Let's face it, Boston is just virtually unstoppable at home, and somehow Philadelphia said, nah, not so fast. We're going to run right through these motherfuckers. And run right through them they did. 111-97. And yes, everyone's talking about a big time dunk that Brown had. Well, kind of gets overshadowed when you lose. Especially when you lose like that. 111-97 at home. And you're supposed to be one of the heavy favorites to win. There's just some smidget of joy. There's just something that makes me so happy. about seeing the downfall of Boston losing at home. Yeah, everyone says they're going to be the ones that win the East. Yeah, okay. Not in my opinion. I don't think they're going to win the East. But now we go to the big time rivalry here. This big time rivalry of LeBron versus Durant. And so far, LeBron is winning because last night the Lakers got a 101-94 victory over the Houston Rockets. The Rockets are now down 2-0 in the series, meaning that they are 2 games behind the Lakers here. And Kevin Durant put up 23 points. LeBron James filled up his stat sheet last night, 28 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. And it's just pure domination here by the Lakers, who are without Luka, without Reeves. Like, this Lakers team is probably going to sweep the Rockets. And there's something so satisfying whenever these two play each other, Durant and James. It's satisfying to me, at least, because at least I want to see both teams lose. I want both teams to fucking lose. Is that bad? Can this be like a bye? Like can we just get rid of both of these teams and make the playoffs a little bit more interesting? Kind of getting sick and tired of seeing Durant choke against LeBron. Like he does every fucking year. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Name a year that Durant was better than LeBron. If you say the fucking Golden State Warriors, don't go there. I'm talking about when these two have a battle with each other. Not when it involves Steph Curry and, of course, the Golden State Warriors team that was virtually unstoppable. I'm talking about when LeBron and Harden go at each other, and they're the main focal point of this whole thing. Exactly, you can't, because anytime the playoffs come around, it's usually Steph versus LeBron, and so on and so forth. So taking a look at the current playoff picture as of right now, with some games happening tonight. In the Western Conference, the Thunder will play the Suns. OKC currently has a 1-0 series lead. They play tonight. Also tonight in the Eastern Conference, Orlando with a shocking 1-0 series lead over the number 1 seed Pistons. They play tonight at 7 p.m. on ESPN. Those are the 2 games that are on tonight. And then tomorrow night, we'll see the Nuggets take on the Timberwolves. Then a tied series there, and what is a great series over there in between those two butting heads over there. Somehow Denver is still the favorite to win, which makes no sense. But anyway, that game is on tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Also tomorrow night, we'll see the Cleveland Cavaliers take on the Toronto Raptors. Cleveland with a 2-0 series lead. The Knicks will take on the Hawks after the Knicks completely choked the other night when they tying the series at 1-1. They now go to Atlanta. That game will be on at 7 p.m. on Prime Video. So the playoffs are getting very interesting in the first round already. This is going to be a long playoff, isn't it? It's going to be a long playoff. Am I enjoying it at least? All right. Thanks for that. Are you sure? All right. Fine. We'll move on. Jeez, him. Fucking sound guy. He's pissing me off. He is. He's pissing me off. Anyway. All right. So let's talk about NHL hockey with the NHL playoffs. And how we have some very interesting games here, including last night's thriller between the Montreal Canadiens and the Tampa Bay Lightning. That came down to a very shocking Moser who hits the game-winning goal in overtime with 12:48 left to go with 12 minutes and 48 seconds into overtime, gives Tampa Bay the 3-2 victory over the Canadiens, tying the series at 1 apiece. Some momentum in Tampa Bay. Holy crap. Like the minute that goal was scored, that crowd got loud quick. That crowd got loud very quick. Like, are we able to pull up the sound from that at least? Are we allowed to do that? Here, listen to this.
Moses shot.
One more time. I need to hear the actual play-by-play. So start from the face-off.
Does he have one more moment in this extra period to win the game for Tampa Bay? Moses shot.
Wait a minute, hold on. Play that back. That noise. I love that noise. The ding right off the goalpost. Listen.
For Tampa Bay, Moses shot.
Do you hear that? It sounds like a can getting shot. Listen.
For Tampa Bay, Moses shot.
And then the fans erupting. All right. I mean, that's one way to wake up is some friggin' momentum in Tampa Bay. Holy shit. But yeah, no, I mean that is definitely an incredible reaction, incredible goal. I mean, honestly, if you guys watched the shot, I'm surprised he was able to get it through all the defenders. I really am. I mean, by the looks of it, just by watching the replay here, he goes through one defender. He's got like 3 defenders around him. One of them is kind of being held up by his teammate here. But he was able to just sail that right in. Wait, was the Canadiens distracting their goalie? Wait a minute, hold on. I gotta watch this. Did they distract their own goalie? No, they didn't. Wait a minute, one more time. Hold on. How many? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you were to watch the replay, like I'm watching the replay, I can't show it because, it's ESPN coverage. But if you were to watch it, you could see, like, the goalie had, like, no eyesight on that freaking puck. That's insane. He had, like, no vision on that puck whatsoever. Like, there's none. No vision whatsoever. So bad playing right there by the Canadiens, honestly. But Tampa Bay ties the series there. Let's move on to the next matchup. The Boston Bruins took on the Buffalo Sabres in Buffalo. It was... I'm going to butcher the name. Avederson? He was able to put in 2 and help the Bruins get a 4-2 win last night to tie the series at 1 game apiece there in the East. No shocker there. Pretty much those goals pretty much came. Let's see, we got 1 in the second period. Well, we have 3 in the second period. So Boston went up 3-0 in the second period. Able to net 1 in the third, so they went up 4-0, and then the Sabres tried to battle back, but just fell short, obviously. So not much going on there. Now we go to this matchup, which this one shocks me, that the fact that they lost here. Logan Cooley scores late as the Mammoths beat the Vegas Golden Knights 3-2 to even the playoff series. Logan Cooley scored off a rebound with 6 minutes left to give the Mammoths a 3-2 victory over the Vegas Golden Knights on Tuesday night, and they will head back to Utah with a split series for the first 2 games of their first round playoff series. So we have a tied series there as well. I mean, Can we at least hear that goal where he gets the go-ahead one at least? Are we able to hear that? All right, the sound guy's pulling it up now. So while he's doing that, we'll just yap. But yeah, no, I mean, like, the Mammoths, though, where the hell did they come from? Honestly. Like, these freaking Mammoths, man. They're just as annoying. All right, hold on. Here's the play. All right, here we go. All right, this is, of course, from ESPN's coverage last night. So if we hear anything, here we go.
Around Theodore. Gunther's shot. Looking around Hart. Rebound. Score. Logan Cooley. 3-2 Mammoth.
Wait, one more time. I need to see that fast break because that was a fast break goal. I want to hear it from right here.
Got it. Getting around Theodore. Gunther's shot. Looking around Hart. Rebound. Score. Logan Cooley. 3-2 Mammoth.
All right, so they were able to net it there. Of course, like we said, that audio comes from ESPN's coverage last night. We do not own the rights to that. Reminder of that. But no, it was a great rebound putback to put it in the back of the net. So Mammoths, though, the new team, the goddamn Mammoths that were once the Arizona Coyotes. Still, that sucks. I wish that they were still the Coyotes. But anyway, yeah, I mean, Mammoths, of course, making this a very interesting series. I mean, two of these teams that are still kind of newish to the league. Vegas not so really because they were able to bring home a Stanley Cup already. So they have some credit to their resume. But the Mammoths, though, man, they're just popping up out of nowhere, surprising a lot of hockey fans. I'm honestly surprised that the Mammoths were actually able to make it this far. I haven't been able to watch a lot of hockey this season, so you got to forgive me if I butcher a lot of these things. But moving on from that, I think that that's going to be an interesting series here. But of course, there's no interesting one here because the Los Angeles Kings took on the Avalanche in the final game of action last night. Nicholas Roy scores a rebound at 7:44 in overtime. Avalanche rally for a 2-1 victory over the Kings to take a 2-0 series lead here. Do we have the overtime game winning sound? Are we going to pull that up? I like pulling up these sounds. These sounds are fun. I love when I'm able to get the audio so that way we can hear the reaction because if they were in Colorado, I bet you that place went nuts. Colorado's a team that's due for a Stanley Cup, aren't they? Can we just admit that? All right, this looks like the place went absolutely nuts. Okay, hold on. Pause. All right, let's hear how this sounded last night. Again, this is of course coverage by ESPN's first round coverage between the Kings and Colorado.
Deflected just wide. Kiviranta with a couple of good looks. Room for Manson. Wrist shot blocked again in front. Score! Wah! Wins it! The Avalanche survive in overtime!
Whoa. Okay, I was not expecting that loud of a reaction from the announcer, and I was not expecting that loud of a reaction from the stadium. Can I hear that one more time when the goal is scored?
Just wide. Kiviranta with a couple of good looks. Room for Manson. Wrist shot blocked again in front. Score! Wah! Wins it! The Avalanche survive in overtime!
If that doesn't wake you up, I don't know exactly what will, but Jesus Christ. That almost just blew my fucking eardrums off listening to that. That announcer guy, I need to know who the hell that is. He went fucking nuts. He did. He went fucking nuts. Like, Jesus Christ, man. He's like, score! Like as loud as you can to the microphone. Like, granted, the announcer has every right to be happy that the team won, but like, Jesus Christ, he like leaned into that microphone a little bit too hard and just score. And it's like, wow, okay, jeez. Um, I mean, I'm surprised at that fact that that was able to happen with Colorado, considering the fact that I'm looking at this right now. Like the Kings, they were able to go up 1-0 on a power play, and then again, you can't ever count out the Avalanche. I don't know why. Like, I think the Avalanche is a cool hockey team. I really do. I actually like the Avalanche. I remember there was a guy in school that I used to deal with who was a big Avalanche fan. He told me one day they're gonna win the cup, and I'm like, fuck off. They have a guy on there that I used to like. I don't know. Is he still with the team? Can someone look that up? If the guy I'm thinking about is still with the team, he's probably like the star guy. Well, he used to be. Nathan McKinnon. Yep, he's still with the team. That shocks me. I'm surprised how he hasn't left yet. But anyway, let's take a look at the NHL playoff picture at this moment, folks. Of course, in the Western Conference. On the ice tomorrow, it's going to be the Avalanche and the Kings once again. Avalanche, of course, with a 2-0 series lead. That game will be on at 10 p.m. on TNT and True TV. Game 3 between the Stars and the Wild, tied series there. That game will tip off today, or the puck will drop at 9:30 p.m. on TNT and True TV. Then on the 24th, it'll be the Kings and Mammoth. They will go to battle there with the tied series there. That game will be on the 24th at 9:30 p.m. on TBS and HBO Max. A game tonight between the Oilers and the Ducks. Edmonton with a 1-0 series lead. That game will be on at 10 p.m. on TBS and HBO Max. Then in the Eastern Conference, tomorrow night, it'll be the Sabres taking on the Bruins. Tied series there. TNT, True TV on that one. Then on the 24th, it'll be the Lightning and the Canadiens. That game will be on at 7 p.m. on TNT and True TV. Then the games that are on tonight, well, this one's actually tomorrow night. It's going to be the Hurricanes and the Senators. Carolina with a 2-0 series lead there. And then, of course, a shocking one here. Battle of Pennsylvania is the Penguins and the Flyers. We'll do battle there. They will drop the puck tonight at 7 p.m. on TNT and True TV at the Flyers Arena. The Penguins are fucking slipping, man. I love it. I love seeing the Penguins slip. It's so great. To me, it's funny. I don't care what anyone says. That's just my opinion. All right. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we got to talk about WrestleMania and give you our true predictions. Now, I know what you guys are saying. Well, didn't you talk about this on the Wrestler podcast? We did, kind of, but we wanted to give our true opinions of WrestleMania weekend. Because there was a lot of people on that podcast. A lot of people were talking a lot. So we weren't able to get a word in otherwise. So we're going to try and get a word in here about how the whole weekend went. And then, of course, we got the Around the Diamond. And, of course, we're going to talk about how the Mets absolutely suck. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. Stay with us live right here on BW Radio, the #1 Syracuse Sports Radio right here on YouTube.
tickets?
Vivid Seats has legit tickets for legit fans. From concerts to sports and everything in between. Vivid Seats makes scoring great deals on great seats. Fast, easy, and reliable. When it's something you can't miss, Vivid Seats doesn't miss. These guys know what I'm talking about. And so do these guys. Vivid Seats, the only ticket company that rewards you for buying.
A big thank you to our friends at VividSeats.com. Folks, Vivid Seats, of course, is the #1 ticket sponsor of B-Downing Radio. Folks, you folks need to check them out today by downloading their mobile app on the App Store or Google Play to get tickets for any concert, sporting event, or anything that you're looking to go to. Check out VividSeats.com to find the best deals on ticket prices around you. Folks, it is concert season here in New York. You folks need to definitely check out the concert scene. I can tell you what, there are some interesting ticket deals for, of course, these playoffs and so much more. You guys can check them out at vividseats.com or download their mobile app today. All right, so welcome back, everyone. We had ourselves a very interesting weekend because it was WrestleMania weekend. And of course, the guys from the Wrestler podcast, a lot of credit goes out to those guys, including the birthday boy Liam. Today's Liam Warren's birthday, of course, a fellow member of the Wrestler podcast and a guy who put in the most work this weekend. I think everyone needs to give him a lot of credit, show him some love today for his birthday. The guy busted his ass to give us one of the he pretty much made sure that even though we were missing night one, he stepped up and became the guy to save our ass greatly. Because we were not live on WrestleMania weekend until, yeah. But Liam made sure to get some shorts out on the YouTube page. You folks can check it out, Wrestler Podcast on YouTube. Just look for that logo that's right next to us. Liam, of course, putting in most of the work. He was the hardest working guy. And, of course, if you guys read the new B-Downing Radio Insider, you guys will see Liam was credited greatly. So, and also, go wish him a happy birthday. People need to go wish him a happy birthday. If they don't, fuck you. So, WrestleMania, right? Oh, wait, sound guy, what are you doing? Okay, thank you for blowing out my eardrum and, of course, giving Liam his flowers. What a nice guy. Fucking prick. Anyway, so. Radio, how are you during WrestleMania weekend? Frick. Alright, so. WrestleMania is in the books. And, of course, we're going to start in the obvious place, which, of course, is WrestleMania Sunday. Obviously, this was the slower of the nights. Even though people were saying it went by fast, a lot of things happened, including the return of Paige to WWE. She's back. Everyone's happy and excited about that. Paige is now back. A shocking upset, in my opinion, with Becky Lynch defeating AJ Lee, which we learned that AJ Lee is taking some time off. I'm still a little bit upset about this because I feel like Becky needs to be back in the main title picture. But I guess, becoming the women's IC champion is okay. I just don't want her to hold on to it for a while. I feel like Becky needs to be back in the main title picture. The fact that she's worrying about the mid-card kind of bothers me a lot here. We saw the return of Braun Breaker. He broke Seth in half to help Gunther win. We saw Liv Morgan defeating Stephanie Vaquer to win the Women's World Championship, which, again, honest opinion, I'm giving Liv a month before she's injured again. She has to forfeit the damn thing. She has a curse whenever it comes to title, man. I'm not saying that Liv is not a good wrestler, and I'm not saying that she doesn't deserve to be, because honestly, my opinion's changed of Liv for a while now, which is Liv's a good wrestler. She's good, right? She's better than a lot of the talent that's in WWE right now. But it's just every time she gets a title, she gets cursed with some kind of injury. And no, I'm not referring to Danhausen. I'm actually being serious here. Like, somehow she keeps getting injured, and I don't understand, how does this keep happening? To where she can't get on a roll because every time she fucking does it, she gets hurt. And then everyone jumps at me and it's like, oh, well, you don't respect Liv. Yeah, I don't, because she gets hurt every fucking year. You guys can prove me wrong all you want, but it's the truth. Anytime Liv is supposedly being the better, she gets hurt. That's the truth. That's why I don't give a lot of credit when it's due. It's because she gets hurt every fucking time she has a title. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be the women's tag, it could be the world title. She keeps getting hurt. And I know what you guys are going to be like. You guys are like, oh, well, that's not her fault. Really, it's not her fault. Even though she's the one stepping into a wrestling ring, we're not going to blame Liv for getting hurt. Okay. Good to know. Like, I'm not even trying to be a dick. Like, I'm really not. It's just, when it comes to Liv Morgan, right? It bothers me. The reason that I get so bothered is because Liv has all this potential, right? But yet somehow she's one of the many people where anything goes her way, an injury pops up out of nowhere and it just ruins it. It does. It legit does. And people jump down my throat when I say that, but I mean, prove me fucking wrong. Anytime Liv has gotten her hands on a world championship, she gets hurt. Or she loses it in some bullshit fashion. I'm just saying, if you want Liv to be champion, keep the fucking belt on her. But also, you gotta protect her because she does a lot of dangerous moves that end up getting her hurt. But no, people want to jump down my throat when I say the truth. I mean, I'm trying to be as honest about this as I can. It's just, Liv Morgan is a great wrestler. I feel like Liv has a great future. But Jesus Christ, it's like, how many times are you going to put the belt around her when she's going to constantly keep getting hurt? But again, people will jump down my throat when I say that. Of course, the main shocker of the night was Cody Rhodes defeating Randy Orton with Pat McAfee to retain the WWE Championship. Randy would RKO McAfee. Jelly Roll would put Pat McAfee through the announce table. McAfee would come back out with a referee shirt after the referee was knocked down. Well, taken out with an RKO. McAfee sitting there yelling at Orton. Orton RKOs McAfee. Doesn't see Cody behind him. Gets Crossroads. Cody retains the title, but then immediately after, Randy grabs the belt, blasts Cody with it, and then punts him with the infamous punt that we've been waiting to see for a while from Orton. I don't think that rivalry is done. I feel like once Cody and Randy are still going. But that was night one. We go to night two, the main show. And of course, the opener starts with a shocker. Obafemi completely no sells an F5. Destroys Brock. Hits the fall from grace. beats Brock Lesnar. Now, you would think that this is done, but the camera is staying on Brock for some reason. Lesnar takes off his gloves and his boots in the ring, pretty much teasing retirement. Threw up the X, gave Paul Heyman a hug. They're crying, they're sharing a moment. They leave. So the assumption is Brock Lesnar is retired, meaning Randy Orton's the last of the original OVW 4 still standing. Penta retained his IC title in a ladder match. Trick defeated Sammy to become the US champion. The Demon destroys Dominic Mysterio. Rhea Ripley becomes the WWE champion, and then we get to the main event. Now look, this is what I wanted to talk about on the podcast. But again, I couldn't get 2 words out on the podcast because everyone was, wanting to voice their opinions more than others. CM Punk and Roman Reigns delivered a WrestleMania main event. These two beating the living crap out of each other. These two went to war with each other. It was one of the better WrestleMania main events I've seen in a while. And I know everyone's going to be like, oh, well, you're a CM Punk fan, so obviously you're going to say, no. This Mania main event delivered. It didn't matter who you were rooting for. It delivered. It was the most epic encounter between these two. Obviously, Punk selling the old man angle when he was too exhausted. Ended up collapsing while trying to go to sleep. Roman would capitalize at 2 spears. Pinned Punk to get the title back. Well, to become champion. These two delivered a masterclass. I don't care what anyone says. These two showed what a WrestleMania main event looks like. Obviously, everyone's going to be either a Punk hater or Roman hater, but I'm sitting here saying that these two delivered a main event that was worthy of WrestleMania. And I don't believe that Mania would have been as good if this main event didn't capitalize night 2. Because let's face it, we were all pretty pissed off with night 1. People were mad with night 1. I think a lot of people were mad with the main event when they wanted Randy to win. But night 2 saved it, in my opinion, for WrestleMania weekend. I think night 2 saved it. You gotta admit, both Punk and Roman said words about each other. Monday Night Raw, the Raw after Mania. I mean, it really delivered with Obafemi saying that he's now the man. He says that the ruler has arrived, dropped the microphone, and posed. Rio gets a win over the Warriors, over the Kabuki Warriors. Ethan Page makes his main roster debut. He's now the new man on Raw. CM Punk made his entrance, cutting a promo. Punk talked about all that he had lost in the last 6 months. He thanked the fans. Punk talked about his title match, saying how he was still the best in the world. Till Cody came out. Cody told Punk that he thought he would have a different reaction to losing to Roman Reigns. He thought he would lose it. Punk said he kind of agreed, but he was very proud of what he did. Cody said he feels like a loser. Punk responded by saying, Heavy is the one that wears the crown. Punk said fighting Reigns was easy because he hated him. Cody said, pretty much Punk looked at Cody's title. Punk said he told Rhodes to keep winning, keep defending the title. Punk said that he would stay ready. He then looked down at Cody's title. He said that he would stay ready because you never know when he's going to call for his title shot. And Cody Rhodes says, just say when. And Punk smiled and walked away. Ethan Page defeats Javon Evans. Rusev attacks Evans. Rusev would then get attacked by Penta. Rusev would then grab Penta's IC Championship and hold it on his shoulders, pretty much. Liv Morgan comes out, celebrates her victory. Then Sol Ruka shows up. Of course, Liv Morgan defeats Sol Ruka, which sucks. WWE ran a long video package detailing Brock Lesnar's career. Heyman comes out. Braun Breaker. So the first Raw after Mania was good, right? Like I'm not saying it's not good. Both Gunther and LA Knight have their sights set on Roman Reigns and the World Heavyweight Championship, but so does Jacob Fatu, who confronted the Tribal Chief, and the Usos after the Bloodline was pretty much put back together. Great. So yeah, look, overall, Mania was okay. I thought Mania could have been a little bit better. I thought Night 2 really saved this year's Mania. I really did. I thought Night 2 was the better of the two nights. I thought that realistically could have gone a little bit different ways with a bunch of the different matches. Like I said, Becky, I feel like she needs to be back in the main title picture, not the women's IC, because now, no offense, Becky's pretty much beaten everyone on the Raw women's division for the IC. I don't know. Like, I'm very curious to where they're going to go with a bunch of angles here for WWE. Obviously, we'll continue coverage on the Wrestler podcast about this. But just to get my overall feelings on WrestleMania in general, because I wasn't able to on the podcast, like I said, I felt like it was okay. A lot of the matches I wish would have gone much differently. I felt like some people deserved to be in matches that didn't deserve to be in matches. I felt like some titles really should have changed hands, including Penta's one. I felt like that should have gone to Javon. I felt like Carmelo Hayes should have at least been in a triple threat match for the United States title. I don't know. I think the whole weekend was good. I'm not gonna sit here and bitch, and say, oh, night one absolutely sucked ass. Well, not really, because we got the return of Paige and we got Bianca Belair coming back out and saying, hey, I'm going to be gone for a little bit longer because now she's pregnant. She made her big pregnant announcement. So, overall, you can't really bitch and complain about the whole WrestleMania weekend because obviously you watch the whole shows. But honestly, people bitch about the littlest of things, and then if you watch this week's Wrestle you would be shocked as to who bitched about what. But no, I just want to get my feelings out on a bunch of things because I wasn't able to during the pod because, like I said, there was about 5 people trying to talk at once, and every time I've tried to make a point, someone jumped right in and interrupted, and it was like, all right, well, I'm just not gonna. That's kind of why I didn't talk towards the end of the pod. It was like everyone was just trying to talk over each other. Like anytime someone made a point, someone was trying to talk over each other, and it was like guys, let people talk. But no, it was like they wanted to get their point across and then move on to the next thing, and it was like, really, like, so I don't get, like, even during the Q&A, I wasn't able to answer really any of the questions because it was like everyone was just talking over each other, and it was like, well, like, fuck, I can't really say anything. I don't know, like, everyone's attitudes on Monday was just different, and I don't know why. But again, everyone was on the pod, and I think everyone was just trying to get their opinions out all at once. But it was like, could I get an opinion out without getting interrupted? Like I should like that was the one thing that got to me was like everyone like I respect everyone that's on that pod, right? Like I love all my friends. I'm not saying anything bad about them. But Jesus Christ, like when you're trying to get an opinion out and you keep getting interrupted and then like you try to show the same respect, it's like Jesus Christ, man. Like in one moment really bothered me because Noble was trying to say something and then it was like it was like two guys were like talking over him and I'm like, dude, can Noble get his point out? And then like when Noble tried to get his point out, it was like he couldn't because they wanted to move on to the next thing so quickly and it was like, dude, like can we be respectful of everyone here and like let him get his point out? That's kind of why when everyone went silent, I was like, Noble, please say something. It was just meh. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not blaming anyone on that pod because again, there was like what all the original OGs were there, and like everyone was just trying to get a point across and try to do it in a limited amount of time because I guess I was trying to move on to the next thing. But like, holy crap! Like you couldn't say anything. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But anyway, check out the Wrestler podcast every Monday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on YouTube. Um, I was gonna take another commercial break, but I think we should just hop right into it because I want to talk about Around the Diamond because I want to talk about Around the Diamond here because honestly, if I could, I don't even want to talk about the standings at the moment. I want to talk about the fucking losers that are the Mets. Oh, I'm gonna tear them a new asshole. They lost 12 straight. They're on a 12-game losing streak, longest in MLB right now, and they are currently dead last. They are dead last. Jesus Christ. The fucking losers. That's what I'm calling them. I'm calling them the fucking losers. Like, what is it with me trying to cheer on teams that are just fucking losers? They have now lost 12 straight games. Through 5 innings Tuesday, the Mets were perfect. But for a team that suffered its 12th loss, the last 4 frames were perfectly discouraging. The Minnesota Twins capped their comeback with a 3-0 deficit with a 2-run ninth against the Mets closer Devin Williams, beating a belligerent New York club 5-3 on the fringe on a frigid night at Site Field. As one might expect, the Mets' mood after the game was as cool as the air on the field during it. Another game, another loss, another round of the same questions. It's tough, man, says Williams. I've never been a part of something like this, you know. Williams, who inked a 3-year, $45 million contract with the Mets over the winter and inherited New York's closer role from Edwin Diaz, entered the game to begin the ninth with the score tied at 3-3. He failed to retire any of the 5 batters he faced, walking 3 and giving up 2 runs before being pulled by Mets manager Carlos Mendoza. I feel a little out of sync mechanically, Williams says. I couldn't really land my changeup for a strike, so it was tough to try and beat guys with just a fastball. Okay. I don't even know where to begin here. I really don't. I really don't fucking know where to begin with this team. You're on a 12-game losing streak. You're sitting here talking about the mentality of being a closer. Here's my problem with this fucking franchise. I'm sick of the excuses. Just win a fucking game. Because you know it's bad. You know it's bad. When you lost 12 straight, and one of the teams that you're losing 12 straight to is the motherfucking Athletics. Not only that, but also the Dodgers, the Cubs, and the Twins. This fucking Met team is such a bunch of fucking losers making such bad decisions. It's not even funny. Like, the minute that they let Diaz go, and the minute that they let Alonso test free agency, I knew we were in for a shit show. We were in for a motherfucking shit show. And everyone was like, "No, don't worry about it. They're gonna turn it around. We got Bo Bichette and Francisco Lindor. Yeah, great. Really on track, aren't we?" This fucking team, man. I don't know if I can keep doing it with the Mets. I really don't. You have a worse record than the White Sox. A worse record than the Rockies. A worse record than the Royals. I can't. I can't with this fucking Mets team, man. This Mets team makes me want to scream. Really? You had to play that particular noise right now? I'm gonna fire this fucking guy. Alright. What's the feeling inside Site Field right now? Do you think the Mets are gonna win their next game? I'll tell you what, sound guy. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna list off some teams. You play a sound if you think I should cheer for them. Dodgers. The Reds. How the hell that get spiked back up? No? What about the Braves? Yankees? Cardinals? What about the Cubs? Yeah, okay. He wants me to cheer the lovable losers. Yeah. Brewers? Diamondbacks? What about the Pirates? Okay. What about Miami? All right. This fucking guy. What about the Red Sox? Okay. All right. We get it. Nationals? Okay. Jeez, all right. All right. So Pirates you don't have a problem with. And the Cubs you don't have a problem with. This is the stupidest shit. What about Cleveland? Ay, ay, ay. I don't know what this show is turning into. You don't want to cheer for the Mets anymore?
Baba Booey.
I didn't know we were going Gary Delabate there. All right. Yeah. Anyway, look. To get back to it here. Jesus Christ. Anyway, around the diamond, of course, the Yankees currently sit with a 14-9 record. And they sit atop of the American League East. I'm going to mute you if you keep your shit up. Taking a look at the National League East, the Mets are currently dead last there. I'm going to beat this fucking sound guy like there's no tomorrow. Really? You have to hit me with two at once? Can't I just fire you?
You're fired!
Oh, this fucking show. Anyway, all right. Taking a look at the top teams in Major League Baseball at this moment. Of course, the top team in Major League Baseball right now is the Padres and the Dodgers are both tied with a similar record of 16-7. The Padres are on a 3-game winning streak, going 9-1 in their last 10 games. The Dodgers are currently on a 1-game losing streak, going 6-4 in their last 10 games. Right behind them is the Reds and the Braves with a 16-8 record. Reds are currently on a 5-game winning streak, going 8-2 in their last 10 games. The longest losing streaks that we have right now are coming from the Cubs with a, or no, wait a minute. My apologies. Jeez, we're losing it. The Longest losing streaks right now in Major League Baseball are the Phillies with a 7-game losing streak, the Mets with a 12-game losing streak. The longest win streaks that we have at the moment are the Cubs with a 7-game win streak, the Yankees with a 4-game win streak, the Padres with a 3-game win streak, the Reds with a 5-game win streak, and the Athletics with a 2-game win streak at the moment. The top division leaders in Major League Baseball at the moment in the American League East is the Yankees. In the Central Division, it's going to be the Guardians. In the West, it's the Athletics. In the National League East, the Braves are currently sitting atop there with a 16-8 record. In the Central Division, it's the Cincinnati Reds with a 16-8 record, and in the West, it's the Padres. Sound guy, can we at least end the show on a high note today? Can we at least do that? I mean, can you at least tell me how you think today's show went, at least? Ta-da! You're an annoying prick. I might fire you today.
You're fired! What?
Okay. Anyway. We're all loony here. Anyway. Especially the people that watch this show. Anyway. This has been the weirdest fucking podcast we've ever done. Anyway. Make sure you folks check out, of course, the other shows that are currently on the BW Radio Network, including the Wrestler podcast that goes live every Monday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, BW Radio that goes live Wednesdays at 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. Eastern Time, and then, of course, the RWL's War every other Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, right here on YouTube. I know, me and the sound guy, we've been fighting all day. You're asking for it. You are fucking asking for it, pal. You want to fight? All right. Enough of this shit. Anyway, make sure you folks follow us on all of our social medias. Check out all the sponsors in the link below. We highly encourage everyone to check out the new BW Radio Insider that we, of course, will be releasing weekly. It'll involve all the other shows, behind the scenes stuff, including WrestleArc, RWL's War, and of course this show as well. Make sure you folks follow us on our Twitch channel. Make sure you folks follow us on all of our social medias. Check out tpublic.com. Get the latest in BW Radio merch over there. We tried uploading merch the other day. It didn't work out. It really did not work out. Alright, I'm muting your fucking soundboard the rest of the... Hold on, let me do this. You know what? I'm taking control of the goddamn soundboard now. Give me it. Give me the fucking control. What an asshole. Alright. Anyway. This show is falling off the rails today, can you tell? Anyway. We did want to open up the floor. No, I don't have to. Anyway, we did want to open up the floor to any sports questions if you folks have them at this time. Of course, a lot of sports things are happening over the weekend, including the NBA and NHL playoffs. Also, if you guys want to talk about the NFL draft, any questions there, don't be afraid to ask us. By the way, I just saw that Yahoo Sports posted the 7 straight playoff losses for Kevin Durant since his last win on May 7th, 2023. Wait, what? Hold on, wait, this is true? Is this a joke or is this a bit? Wait, hold on. Is this a joke or is this a bit? From Yahoo Sports, Hines teamed up with Devin Hester to welcome the first Mr. 57 at the NFL draft, awarding him a custom jacket and ketchup for life and a partnership. Is this a bit? Oh, they're for real. Really? The jacket looks fucking stupid. Anyway, all right, let's take a look at some of your guys' questions now. We were waiting for some to come in. Radio, who do you think is going to be traded to the Niners? That is such a loaded question. Like, are you talking about traded on draft night, or are you talking about traded in general to the Niners? Because I know the Niners are going to be shipping some people out, including one of their top receivers. I know that for a fact. Who are they having problems with again? It's Ayuk, right? Or is he no longer with the team? I haven't been able to keep up on 49ers news, unfortunately. Is he still with the team? Yeah, he is. Brandon Ayuk. I know damn well he's getting traded out on draft night. See, that's a loaded question because it really depends on where the Niners currently sit. I know that the Niners, they have a first round pick, right? Because I know there's a lot of teams that don't have a first round pick. Brandon's definitely getting traded. I know that for a fact. For a fact. They have the number 27th pick. I don't know. Some teams could trade down, maybe. Maybe the Bears. It really depends on what teams need a wide receiver, or if depending on what kind of trade deals they would get. Um, I mean, number 27. I don't know who the heck they could pick at 27. I'm honestly trying to give you a legit answer here because I have no idea because realistically, I know that the 49ers can use that pick to help kind of rebuild some of their defense too, because their defense has taken some huge hits over the years. But not only that, I also feel like they need to get a new offensive weapon if Ayuk leaves. If Ayuk leaves the fucking team, I'm telling you, the 49ers, they need to get some new weapons in there quick. And I'm talking about really quick. So realistically, I could see the Niners trying to trade up to get a top guy. It really depends on who's willing to get the best deal here. I don't think they'll trade with the Rams. Absolutely not. Maybe they could trade with maybe Carolina. Maybe Carolina could use the draft pick a little bit later on. It's really hard to determine who's going to trade where, like that's the problem here. Like we were even shocked when the Giants traded fucking Dexter Lawrence for the 10th pick. Like I thought the Giants were going to get like 2 second-rounders or something. Not a fucking 10th overall pick for Dexter Lawrence. Uh which by the way, I want to know how the hell the Giants stole that deal. But I don't know. It's kind of hard because I feel like the Niners need to use their first round pick to help their offense out a lot too, and give whoever the hell's throwing the ball next season, whether it's Purdy or whether it's fucking Jones there, you need to get him some weapons too. Radio, who do you think the New York Giants are picking at number 5 and number 10? Listen, next Super Bowl is my Niner. Yeah, okay. What, to go back and choke at it again, or? I'm just being honest with you. What? I mean, no offense, they choked the last 2 Super Bowls that they were fucking in. They need to get there first. Who do you hope the Giants draft at number 5 and number 10? We said that earlier in the show. Realistically, the Giants need a both offense and defensive player, but I think I mean, hey, you can believe all you want. I'm just saying, little choke style each time. See, I don't know. I mean, realistically, I would love to see the Giants get Styles. I think that would be a great pickup. But if they aren't able to get him, maybe Reese. Maybe Reese. But then again, the Cardinals may grab him or the Jets may grab him. We know Jeremiah Love. He's definitely going to the Titans. The Titans have been pushing heavy to get him. I'm just trying to think because, I mean, realistically, you can go a number of ways here. It really depends on who the Cardinals pick, realistically. I mean, the Cardinals are. I mean, the Giants are going to get an offensive and defensive player. I know that. The Cardinals, on the other hand, they could potentially steal one of those guys from Ohio State. I feel like it's going to be an Ohio State fucking slaughter in the goddamn first round. Like, I feel like a whole bunch of Ohio State guys are going to come flying off the board quick. We know the Raiders are picking Mendoza. We know that for a goddamn fact. Who's my team? Wait, are you really asking that question? You can't see the photos behind me? Best running back in the. Well, yeah. I mean, again, it really depends on the first 4 picks. It really depends on the first 4 picks. Because that's really going to determine who the Giants pick at both 5 and 10. I mean, look at the pictures behind me and you'll see who my team is. It's not that hard. Plus, of course, if Noble's asking me a question about the team, I feel like he should know it. But no, I don't know. I want to say Styles and that other guy from Ohio State. What the hell's his name? I can never fucking get his name right. The corner there. I would like it if we can get Downs and Styles, but I know damn well that ain't gonna happen. So I'm thinking Giants go for Cardinal Tate and Styles out of Ohio State. Someone said we should get Lemon out of USC. I'm like, no. I don't think Lemon would work in that Giants offense. I really don't. Aw, that's cute. We smoked your ass last season. That's cute. Hey, buddy. At least when we go to the Super Bowl, we don't choke. And oh yeah, we beat your guys' ass one year just to get into the Super Bowl. Shocker. What about Cardinal Tate? Hmm. He's a. See, that's who I think the Giants are gonna get. I think the 10th pick is gonna be Tate if he's available, and then Styles if he's available at number 5. But again, it's draft. You know, I love it when a 49ers fan is talking such shit. Again, again, and I'm only going to say this to you once. We have a pretty good record in the Super Bowl. You guys, on the other hand, the past couple times you guys couldn't finish the job against Kansas City. So keep talking your crap. I love it. It's great. I mean, no offense, my team doesn't do a choke job every time we get into the Super Bowl. See, we make memorable moments. You guys make memorable moments, but for all the wrong reasons. Anyway, getting back to it, right? I feel like this year's draft, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm looking at this year's draft, and honestly, it's the most uninteresting draft to me. I don't know why. I don't feel like there's a lot of great players at every position. I mean, other than Mendoza, which we all know he's going to go to the Raiders, but he's going to be a backup. Hey, listen, we just need to get help. Dude, I hear that every single year. Every single year you guys say that. What was the NFL play? All right, hold on. Now you really pissed me off. What was the playoff picture last year? Can I see that playoff bracket? Can I see that playoff bracket, please? Hmm. Yeah, let me take a look at that real quick. Let me see. Oh, yeah. At least when we go to the divisional round, we don't get blown out 41-6. But we're gonna blame that on not being healthy. Ooh. Hmm. Hmm. See, I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. I don't know. 41-6. If we were healthier. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I mean, you guys were getting fucked on no matter if you guys were healthy or not. Seattle was gonna run over your ass like there was no tomorrow. But anyway, um, look, I mean, looking at this year's draft, I'm not too excited about it. I mean, no offense, not really a lot of big names in this year's draft. As much as I hate saying it, yeah, Mendoza is probably gonna go number one, but he's gonna be a backup. I think Jeremiah Love, yeah, he'll have an incredible year. Um, I I don't know. I mean, I would like a little bit more talent in this year's draft, as much as I hate saying it. Like, I think that this year's draft doesn't exactly have a lot of guys that are making me jump out of my seat and being like, oh, yeah, we got to grab that guy. No. It's mostly makes me want to fall asleep, as much as I hate saying it. I mean, no offense. I'm looking at it right now. Besides the few guys that I've listed off, no one really jumps out at me as, oh yeah, this guy's the next best thing in the NFL. As much as I hate saying it, I mean, look. I'm trying to be as honest about this as I can. I feel like next year's draft will be loaded with a lot of talent, but this year's draft, I honestly could fall asleep, and I'm actually kind of glad that I'm missing it because no one's really jumping out at me here. Like I'm just trying to be as honest as I can about this. No one's really jumping out at me as, oh yeah, they're a must grab. They're a must get. You know what I mean? And look, I'm not trying to shit on anyone. If your guys are excited about the draft and your guys' future, by all means. I mean, honestly, I for me, right? I'm not too jumping out of my seat. Yes, this is what we need, type deal. You know what I mean? So. Oh, of course. I go to Twitter and the first thing I see, Thomas Noble retweets, bringing Josh Allen out of a playoff game in Buffalo went exactly how you expect it to go. Hey, Noble, Josh Allen's been roasting your guys' ass for years. I'd shut up. You had one good season, bitch. Um, Radio for NHL, what do you think about Hackett Sabrini? Okay, shit. Hold on. I know who you're talking about. I gotta see I just gotta see a photo of the guy. Hold on. I know exactly who you're talking about. It's just I need to make sure that we're talking about the same guy. Okay, please do not yell at me. I'm actually trying to be as Well, I mean, it makes most sense that he's with the Sharks, honestly. Like not like I do know this guy. I do know this fucking guy. He's actually a really good hockey player. I would be surprised if the Sharks don't offer him a big time deal to keep him there in San Jose. I mean, honestly, I really wouldn't be shocked. I mean, he's like what? He's still a young guy, right? Yeah, he's 19. He's got a long career. I don't think San Jose is going to be getting rid of him anytime soon. Granted, do I think that the Sharks? The Sharks, on the other hand, they have their own issues, but I think he's going to be a turning point for them. I feel like he's going to be a standard for them for a while. So I don't think getting rid of him. Yeah, I know. I know he's 19. I know he's a young guy. I knew who you were talking about. I just had to see his face for a minute because I'm like, I'm pretty sure we're talking about the same guy, the guy that's been tearing up the ice like there's no tomorrow. Um, but no, I mean, you would be nuts to not sign him to an extension. You really would. I mean, honestly, if you didn't sign him to an extension, I don't know what the hell they'd be doing. I mean, there'd be a lot of teams that'd be happy to grab him. All right, any more, or are we good? Do you think the future is bright for the Sharks? Okay, you want me to answer this honestly? I want to make sure that you're asking me to answer this as honestly as I can because I will answer this as honestly as I can. I just want to make sure that we're again. I'm just trying to make sure here. Okay, so San Jose is a good hockey team. They do, but for some reason they can never win the games that really matter down the stretch. Like, no offense, the last few games of their regular season, they kind of choked away great opportunities to come out with a win. And I know what you're probably saying. Well, what games in particular are you talking about? Well, no offense, I feel like that they had a chance to beat teams that are currently in the playoffs. They had a chance to beat the Senators. They lost 7-4. They choked a game against the Oilers 5-3. They lost to the Philadelphia Flyers 4-1. They lost to Buffalo in a clean slate loss 5-0. The problem with San Jose is they have a great team, but the problem is they shoot themselves in the foot going down the stretch, right? Like that's what they do. For some reason, San Jose, they're a great team. They are. Like they're not middle of the pack. They're like right there on the edge of being a great playoff team, but they shoot themselves in the foot towards the end of the year, and it's like you watch the downfall because like you're like, okay, the Sharks are off to a great start to the season. They're gonna turn things around, and then they get right to that moment, and then they choke, and it's like I don't understand how San Jose fans can be happy about that. I think they're right there. I think that they're one talent. I think they're one good signing away from having a talented playoff team. It's just they really need to focus more on attacking the puck a little bit more. Not only that, their defense needs to improve a little bit more coming down the stretch because I feel like a lot of fast breaks and the San Jose Sharks just allow so many opportunities to sneak by them. Not only that, but I feel like penalties also kill them a lot too. Um, so I mean, in all honesty, I think the Sharks are right there. They just need to they just need to let the puck fly as far as I'm concerned. Like they need to get at least a couple more guys to help improve that defense. Not only that, but get a couple guys on the offensive side that can really attack the puck too. What do you think about Wemby's injury, and you think it's going to cost the Spurs? So I said this earlier on the show. I said that if Wemby is out, Wemby's probably only going to be out for like a game or two because he's got to go through the concussion protocol. Which concussion protocol, you're going to be out for this period of time. I don't believe Wemby will be out the entire playoff. I don't think it's really going to affect the Spurs as much. I feel like this is motivation for Wemby now to just come back and fucking carry the Spurs as much as he can. But it kind of shows that without Wemby, the Spurs have a problem with slowing down a Portland Trailblazer team that, no offense, I'm surprised even made it into the playoffs. Um, I think it doesn't affect the Spurs long term. I think that the Spurs are going to be down Wemby for at least one game, but I think that he'll probably miss like a game or at least a game, or he'll be a game time decision, because the NBA is going to be watching them like flies on shit with the way that how injuries were handled this past year. Which, by the way, I want to talk about that real quick. Hold on, something about. Thank you for bringing this up because something about this really pissed me off. I want to talk about the NBA MVP race for a minute. Can someone explain to me what the fuck all that fuss was about Luca? Like the whole thing with Luca trying to get back into the MVP race, and yet he wasn't even one of the 3 finalists for it. Like, can someone explain that to me? Like, we made such a big deal about Luca wanting to be back in it. He wins his appeal to be in it. He's not even one of the 3 finalists. I mean, can someone explain that to me? He wasn't even one of the finalists. The finalists are SGA out of the Thunder, Jokic out of the Nuggets, and Wemby out of the Spurs. Why? So, like the NBA said, nope, you're not qualified. I don't know. No, like this to me makes absolutely no fucking sense. Well, first off, I want to talk about the Coach of the Year finals. First off, one fucking guy doesn't deserve to be there, and that's definitely the guy out of the Celtics. He doesn't deserve to be there. Um, I know damn well he doesn't deserve to be Coach of the Year, and if he wins it, then these awards are rigged as shit. But anyway, look, like I don't understand why Luca had to go through all that shit to get an approval to be a part of the trophies and awards towards the end when he's not even in the fucking finalists. So they made all that big deal for absolutely nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. So I think that was a waste of time for Luca. But I want to talk about the Coach of the Year finalists because I saw that Joe there from the fucking Celtics is in it. Really? What the hell did he do to become a Coach of the Year finalist? Why is he even a part of the Coach of the Year finalists? He doesn't deserve to be there. I know that for damn sure he doesn't deserve to be there. Like, like why the hell is he in there? Watch, I bet you he wins it. Watch, I bet you the NBA is going to give it to Joe, which he doesn't deserve it. It should go to either Burkerstaff of the fucking Pistons or it should go to Johnson of the Spurs. It should not go to Joe. Joe should fuck off, honestly. His team is, like, honestly. He does not deserve to win that award. If he wins that award, I'm calling absolute bullshit on these awards. At like 100% bullshit. Mitch Johnson deserves to win it. And of course, the guy from Detroit deserves to win it. Not a guy whose fucking team is the number 2 seed in the East. He does not deserve a nomination. And you guys can sit there and argue with me all you want and be like, oh, well, he helped the Celtics get in there, especially since he brought Tatum back. No. That doesn't qualify you. Honestly, the Coach of the Year candidate should be from Detroit, OKC, and San Antonio. It should be the 2 top conferences, and then, of course, the next best record, which was San Antonio. I mean, come on, man. Give me a fucking break. Just because we have to include the Celtics in every goddamn award every year, it's ridiculous. Honestly. He doesn't deserve it. Radio, who's your favorite guy on Wrestler of all time? Aled. Anyway, getting back to this. Like what did he do to get a nomination for the Celtics to be a Coach of the Year finalist? I need to know. Someone please explain to me what this dude did besides give the Celtics a 56-26 record, which is, by the way, if we're really being fair here, was fourth in the league. Fourth in the league. The top 3 teams are OKC, San Antonio, and Detroit. Boston didn't do shit to earn that award. So if he wins it, I'm telling you, the NBA sucks with these awards and they need a new voting system. And no offense, he damn well didn't deserve it last night after the fucking 76ers fucking destroyed them at home. That's for damn sure. Yeah, hey Noble, you want to make fun of Buffalo for losing to Boston last night there? I think we should talk about how the Celtics completely collapsed on their home court against the 76ers, a team without Joel Embiid. You want to talk about a choke job? Just saying. Just saying. All right. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? Any other questions? Concerns? Comments? Sound guy, any other comments?
Ta-da!
All right. Thank you for your contributions today, Sound guy. You did a great job today. You can give yourself a round of applause. All right. What a pain in the ass. All right. If that's all that we got for today's show, I guess we can wrap it up now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Reminder, check out the Wrestle Arc podcast, check out the RWL's War, check out all the other stuff that is a part of the BW Radio Network. Make sure you guys check out our merch store, which is at tpublic.com. No, we're going to keep him. No, he can stay. Sound guy can stay. I need him. Because we need him to play the Jets theme song every year. Can you play the Jets theme song every year? Thank you. Anyway, all right. We're going to wrap things up, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for listening to BW Radio, the number 1 Syracuse Sports Radio right here on YouTube. And why am I missing... Here the fuck we go. Sound effects guy, can you stop fucking with the board real quick? See, he fucks with shit, and then I don't have my music to end the show. He's a smartass. Bitch. Alright. Am I good to end the show now, sound guy, or what? What a fucking prick. All right. We're going to end it, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see you guys next week right here on B-Downing Radio, the #1 Syracuse Sports Radio on YouTube. Sound guy, hit the noise. Let's end it the way we usually do. This has been B-Downing Radio.
What a perfect ending to a historic day!